Hello, welcome to the r/Indieheads podcast. I am your host, Ethan, filling in for Maddie, because Maddie is sick with Ebola, and...
He's sick with Flake.
Flake?
Yeah, Flake.
Oh,
Flake, yeah.
I got you. And who the other person on the podcast is?
Will, user Will for Thrill.
Oh yeah, I'm also Eon997 on Reddit. Forgot to say that. Yeah, so we just interviewed Mike Krol, which you will hear later on the podcast, so it's like all this weird time stuff. We did it before, but you're doing it after. So, yeah, we're going to go into what we listened to this week right now. So I guess I'll start. I listened to so I just came back from a film program. If you've been following the general discussion threads, I kind of had some emotional experiences with a girl, and I had some miss a lot of those people, so I've been kind of like not in the best frame. So I just miss a lot of people basically from this program, and so I've been listening to this album by Emperor X called Western Teleport nonstop, and for some reason it's been helping me a lot. It's just such a beautiful pop album. Basically, I would call it. It's basically a bedroom pop album with a bit more higher production values, but this album is just so emotional. I have trouble like talking about it analytically, because it's just a very, very good pop album analytically, or very, like a good indie pop album.
He's gonna talk about like Jeremiah.
No, I'm not going to do
Tap into your inner Jeremiah and talk about the album.
Okay, I'm channeling my inner Jeremiah. Okay, Father John Misty. Okay, I'm done.
The National. Cheers.
Local natives.
Yeah.
Okay, but
versus the fantasy.
No, this album has just been really connecting with me. My two favorite tracks on it are probably Erica Western Transport, which is the first track, or Erica Western Teleport or Transport. I don't know. I don't know the fucking name of the album. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's 9:30. I haven't eaten dinner. I shouldn't be recording this, but I just want to get it over with. I'm gonna go find the title of the album as I'm scrolling down. Western Teleport. I was right. Okay. Erica Western Teleport. Fantastic track. It's just basically him talking about how he wants to forget a girl, but he keeps remembering her, like all these little things about her. It's really cute, but it's also really dirty. And just like he's like talks about like don't think about her porous membrane, which is very dirty if you think about it. And then there's but it's just a very good song. Like, we've all been there where we don't want to think about someone, but all we can do is think about them. And then the song Canada Day, the guitar part is just so beautiful and so good. And this is a great album. Highly recommend it. I need to dig into his other stuff, but a fantastic pop artist. If you like things like Alex G, Elvis Presley, a lot of bedroom pop stuff, you'll like this. The second album I listened to this week was Brut's Bang Bang Rock and Roll. In the schedule, I wrote Bang Bang Rock and Rock, but that is not correct. Brut is a band. They make music. This is their first album. It's very good. It was highly regarded at the time it came out. Pitchfork gave it an 8.9, I think, so very high praise. It's an incredible album. The song I heard first was Little Brother, and it really reminded me of a Feely song, at least the guitar part, and anything that sounds remotely like early Feelies I have to listen to, so I did. And the rest of the album doesn't really sound like the Feelies, but it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, it's just really good rock. There's a bit of the Strokes in there, maybe. Block Party, it's like, yeah, if Block Party and the Strokes had a baby, this is what they would sound like, but I think the lyrics are what really sets them apart. The lyrics, one of the first lyrics in the first song is like, this is my singing voice, because he does not sing, he's just basically talking, but he's British, so he can get away with it, and he just kind of talks about things, and they're really, like, he has one song where he just talks about how he misses his first girlfriend, and it's just really blunt and honest and fun, and I don't know, he has a really honest talker, and I really am enjoying his stuff, their stuff, and I'm excited. I've heard based on reviews that their other stuff isn't as good, but this album is very good, and I will keep listening to it. So, Will, What did you listen to? You listened to two albums or artists that started with T.
Yes, they're basically, this is my first podcast in about a month. So I'm going to talk about two albums that I haven't been able to talk about on here yet that came out this month. And the first one is the highly divisive Tame Impala Currents. And yeah, this is an album that was very highly anticipated by the indie community. And yeah, it got very, very varied reception. There's some people that really enjoy it and some people that are really not liking it at all. I was really wanting to be on the podcast last week to talk about it, but the schedules didn't work out, and I didn't even listen to it because I knew Maddie was going to shit all over it. I said it's good, but I actually, surprisingly enough, against all odds, I really enjoy Currents because I haven't really been a fan of Tame Impala in the past. Like Lonerism, just like it's the thing is like I don't really have many complaints about it. It just like doesn't really do anything for me. But yeah, like this pop direction that Kevin Parker decided to take Tame Impala, I feel like it is much more interesting to me than the psych rock direction. The album starts with the Let It Happen, which might just be one of the more like masterful songs I've heard this year. Just the production and the way he works everything in, especially that middle section when he has the sample that sounds like a broken record and he has the synths come in. They sound like strings, like an orchestra. And yeah, it's just then he channels his Daft Punk and it's a perfect track. And then the rest of the album, like people talked about 80s synth pop a lot when they talk about this album, but I hear a lot of 70s pop music and like soul music. Like it reminds me a lot of the Bee Gees, which he directly says influenced his decision to go this direction. And I hear the band Chicago. My parents played them a lot in the car when I was growing up, and I can hear their influence here. So yeah, definitely just a well-produced album, and I think that just the pop songwriting is strong. And also, I mean, the lyrics here, I also kind of enjoy them. Like, I know that's another part of controversy, but I think the character he presents is kind of interesting because it's a halfway breakup album, kind of halfway just about how he's changing. I think that he's kind of coming off as the asshole in this story, but he doesn't realize it. And it's just kind of interesting to get into his character's psyche, kind of, for me at least. So yeah, definitely an interesting listen. One of my surprise favorites of the year.
I was hanging out with Jeremiah. I saw Interpol with him, and he was ranting about the lyrics for about 10-15 minutes. Just how bad
he hates the lyrics, and I can see the thing is that like I'm not a huge lyric person, so like I'm not as long as I'm not judging, really I'm okay with them. Like I know that one line he doesn't like they say people never change, but that's bullshit. They do. Like yeah, it's not. That's kind of low hanging fruit, but it's not like just like so it doesn't like not. I don't hate it. Yeah, there's just a lot of other songs that are really interesting to me lyrically. Like, The Less I Know The Better is a good one. And then there's the Eventually, which kind of good. Like, the Pitchfork review kind of picked up on how, like, this like, the song's basically about how, what he says is that it's about how he's about to hurt someone. And the only consolation he has about it is that he's going to, like, they'll get over it eventually. You know, time heals all wounds. But that's kind of like an asshole consolation to make. Like, oh, you'll get over it. So that's just interesting to me. And then, like, in the chorus, he goes, like, and I know that I'll be happier, and I know you will, too. He puts himself first, always. He's kind of a dick, but, like, I know, just an interesting character. And then in the last song, New Person, Same Old Mistakes, he kind of reconciles the person that he's become, and he gets kind of meta. Have you listened to the album, Ethan?
I have not. I have been busy and not that interested in listening to it.
Yeah.
But I've listened to pieces and liked it a lot.
Like I said, like, I wasn't expecting to like it at all. Which is like why like I'm so interested in it. But basically he just gets really meta at the end, like talking about how like he's afraid of letting his fans down.
Yeah.
And there's one line it's like you maybe say I'm fake, maybe fake's what I like. He's just kind of talking about like in interviews he talked about how like he was really growing up he was really into like experimental rock music, and he just kind of associated with this image. He didn't like pop music because of the image of the people that listen to it. Then he like as he got older he realized that it's not nothing's wrong with the music, it's just the people he didn't like.
Yeah. So
it just made him more interested in pop music and making pop music, and I think he did a good job, a successful transition. And the next album I've listened to, I know you've listened to this one, Titus Andronicus, The Most Lamentable Tragedy. And this is a band that I like punk a lot, I like indie rock. I like ambitious songwriting, but I haven't listened to it enough, I guess, but still, I haven't really connected with a lot of their work in the past. The Monitor hasn't, like I said, I haven't listened to it too much. but it hasn't really done anything for me yet. But yeah, just immediately right off the bat, the most lamentable tragedy just intrigued me. It's kind of like Kendrick Lamar's with like Timid Butterfly, where it's like I still just don't have a lot to say about it, but I like it a lot. Just
Yeah.
like, what are some of your thoughts on it? Just
I have a lot of thoughts on it. I actually wrote a review. So
yeah, I mean I do a lot too, but yeah, we have many discussion.
If I have to sum it up, I would say it's a failed masterpiece. I think it's so close to becoming this amazing, like, mind-blowing. This is the Zen Arcade of our generation, but there's just like there's so many things that hold it back that it.
I can see that.
Like, my biggest complaint is just too fucking long. Like,
right. I mean,
it's ridiculous. 93 minutes is just, if there was material to make it worth it, sure, but when you have I just feel like a lot of the songs just go on too long. Like,
she said, definitely.
Yes, that's one of my favorite songs on the album, but in my reviews, he said, she said is one of my best songs on the album, even if it's 4 minutes too long.
But More Perfect Union honestly doesn't feel too long to me.
No, More Perfect Union is perfect.
Yeah, that song did exactly what it needed to do. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, I guess this, for me, that on this album they mix those kind of songs with just the quick, catchy songs,
Yeah, but I just felt, like, when you're listening to the Monitor, like, and that's...
Because you can't just, like, sit down and listen to one song out of that, Yeah. There's not really a single on there.
Yeah, but when I'm listening to the Monitor, I'm able to sit through it because it's only 65 minutes compared to the 93. That's just, it's too much for me.
I mean, it definitely is too much, but, like, I mean, one thing that it does kind of, that people always say, is that there's a lot of, like, just their transition tracks.
Yeah, I like the idea, some of them.
Like, for example, I don't know why they did Auld Lang Syne.
I thought
like, it was cool, but it's like, didn't see what it had to do with the story.
I like how it got more dissonant at the end. I liked that.
Nothing. And then, I want to think another one. Yeah, I mean, there's like the drone units, like the Angry Hour. That one's okay.
I love the intro to A More Perfect Union. I think that is so cool. How it's like this kind of. I thought it was like Eastern sounding almost, like this.
Yeah.
And it's just
that's definitely one of the highlight, maybe the highlight of the album for me. Really, just that 3-song. Really, just this entire second act is just a good act. For Magic Morning, Look Like, I Lost My Mind, Mystery Man, Fired Up, Dimed Out, then closes out More Perfect Union.
I also had a lot of trouble following the story just because of bad mixing and growled vocals. Like, you couldn't understand what he was saying all the time. Which that
is a complaint for me, but at the same time, like, even The Wall, which I call the greatest concept album of all time, if you haven't, like, read about it, like, outside of it, it's harder. Like, this.
But you can understand every word that is being said on The Wall.
Yeah, but the thing is, rock operas are in a way as far as a storytelling mechanism, they're failed.
No, I disagree, because I think you can still. It's not that I'm not trying to diss his lyrics. It's the mixing and the vocals. That's what bothers me. That I think I could understand it better if I could. And still, the lyrics aren't that clear, but I think I would give that to him. I would be like, okay, this is my fault for not understanding them. It's not his fault for not being clear enough. It's the fact that they're just like, if you're going to have a concept album where the narrative is important, it's like I should be able to understand what is being said.
That's fair. I mean, have you followed along on Genius?
I have not.
See, he does a lot of annotations.
But I don't like doing that with albums because I feel like the art should stand on its own. That's always been my belief. And I'm lazy.
That's fair.
And I'm lazy.
So. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Genius. Though I mean, a lot of his annotations are kind of lazy because like he'll annotate one line by quoting another line.
Oh.
For example, the song Mystery Man starts with a line, I met a mystery man on a magic morning. Then his annotation for that is C, it's track 7, the magic morning.
Oh.
Just because he says magic morning in that line.
Oh.
But that really doesn't tell you that much more about what the magic morning is, because magic morning is a drone track.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I think it's a fantastic collections of songs that kind of work as a concept album.
Either way, though, it's still my favorite rock rap. It's definitely my favorite rock album of 2015 so far.
Foil Deer for me.
But. See, for me, like I was starting to think there might not. See, my favorite is No Cities to Love by Slater Kinney. Now I was starting to think that there might not be an rock album that beats it. Now even though I love that album, it's like I mean, that'd be kind of lame if my favorite rock album came out in January.
Yeah.
So I was really, so yeah, definitely at least maybe right. I might cool down on it. There's definitely a lot of stuff cooled down on. Definitely the replay value of this as a whole project.
Yeah, it's just so long.
See, the thing's odd for me. I just don't mind long albums. Like I can break it up. Like for example, this has 5 acts.
Yeah.
And that is another. It's hard to kind of know where the acts end. I mean, basically just like the transition tracks, kind of. Like the drone pieces usually, or where the beginning of the act or the. So that's kind of how you know. But you have to listen to it a few times to remember which ones are the drone tracks, so you can remember.
I think that a lot of the transitions are act transitions. But
yes.
I just don't I don't think I'll find myself coming back to this. I think I'll just keep going back to the Monitor like I have since
that's fair.
I've been listening to the band, because the Monitor is just as epic as this and 65 minutes.
All right, yeah. But what do you think of Local Business and the airing of grievances?
I admittedly have not really listened to them that much, but I like both of them. I think airing grievances is a bit better.
Yeah, I listened to that one for the first time last night. It was definitely more lo-fi. Like his vocals are very. It's like the most mental tragedy. His vocals are forefront. Like you can hear them.
Not all the time. There's some pretty bad mixing on some of the tracks.
Well, I mean, you can hear even if you can't tell what he's saying, you can hear.
Yeah, you can hear some vocals. Sure, you can hear a vocal, but
that one is like the instrumentals are in the forefront and his vocals are in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna have to give that one some more listens. I haven't listened to Local Business yet. I know that one's the least critically.
It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
My friend is super into that album because he says it's the most personal. But
then, are you going to go see them live on their tour?
I would love to. I'm planning on it. I have not bought tickets yet.
I bought my tickets the other night. I was drunk and I was doing a lot of online shopping. Terrible idea, by the way. I pre-ordered Carrie Brownstein's book and it ended up costing me like $37 with shipping. PSA: don't pre-order Carrie Brownstein's book. Wait till it gets in stores, kids.
I've seen them already, so I don't feel that strongly about seeing them.
How were they?
They were fantastic. You've seen the picture of me. I was in one of the videos.
Yeah, you were in it.
Yeah, they were incredible. The only problem was I was being like slammed against the monitor speaker the whole time, so I had to like protect my sternum. But otherwise, it was a great show.
I bought my tickets, so I'm excited. I said I like this album.
Yeah.
Well, I think of the little I've listened to Titus Andronicus, this is my favorite by far.
Yeah.
So hopefully they perform like the entire thing in its entirety. Like
no, they aren't. They've already done some shows and they aren't.
I know. Is it going to be a mix of whatever? The point is that I'm excited to see them.
Their set lists are amazing.
Yeah.
The set lists are incredible. They're playing like Bruce Springsteen covers and stuff. So it's going to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Will be good.
And they're great. Okay, so now is the interview with Mike Krol we just did and you're about to listen to, and it's great. I'm really happy with this interview. Mike was the funny, cool, interesting, everything you would want in a guest. Would you agree?
Yes.
What were you going to say? No?
It's unanimous.
Yeah, are you going to say no? No, I disagree. He was an awful guest.
Yeah, what you said.
No, he was fantastic, and definitely, everyone, please listen to his music for your sake and his.
Definitely.
Okay. Goodbye, and you will be hearing my voice again in a second. And we are back, and not live, but live. We are talking now, but when you hear this, it will not be live. With Mike Krol. Hello. Mike Krol.
I'm Mike.
Hi.
And Will is here too. Say hello, Will.
Hello.
Okay. So let's just dive right into the interview. So the big news out of the Mike Krol camp, I would say, is the recent album announcement of Turkey, which I'm very, very excited for. And I think that one of the really cool aspects of that is that you got signed to Merge, and you're releasing the album on Merge.
So, yes.
Thank you, guys. That's the coolest thing for me as well. It's still something that I can't quite comprehend how or why that happened, but very excited. Do
you have any idea how it happened, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, well, I do. There's a little bit of a story here, but okay. So the story basically goes that I put out 2 albums myself, just self-released them. And kind of the first one I put out, I really had no intentions of ever being a band or touring or playing music or even selling the record. I just wanted to always make a record, and I had always been writing songs and playing in bands, but never being the main guy, never being the singer or anything. Just I'm a drummer. That's what I grew up learning how to do. So I've always been in the background a little bit, and always wanted to do my own stuff. So when I recorded my first album, it was more just about accomplishing this sort of personal goal that I just had for years. So I did it. Whatever the minimum was to get pressed. Oh, thank you guys. It's really it's a very rewarding experience. I'd say anybody who likes music and has any sort of interest in wanting to do make music or make an album and like release a physical thing, it's the most creatively fulfilled I've ever felt in my life, and which is why I'm still here today doing this stuff, is because after I did graphic design also for bands and just other graphic design projects. I always felt like it's never really your own thing at the end of the day. It's always a product for someone else, or so doing this record was like such a cathartic great feeling. Like it was just so I guess if anybody has interest doing that sort of stuff, set a goal, set deadlines, and get it done, because you'll feel so much better, and you never know where it will take you. So that was a long tangent to basically say that I put out a record and I didn't have any intention for anybody to like it, and then people actually did, and it kind of got some legs and turned into this thing on its own, where people started hitting me up and finding my music on the internet, or they would hear it through their friends, and I would get emails from people who would say like, oh, my friend just got your record through their friend and I would love to get a copy. And I would literally send a box of these records to these people. I would literally send like 15 records in a box, because I had 500 and I didn't have 500 friends, and I didn't know what I was going to do with this. So
you got rid of them all yet?
I got rid of all of them. Yeah, now right. Those are all gone. And yeah, I mean, it was, at the time, I just thought it was funny, and it's just this funny thing. Like, oh, I can't believe people are liking this. But so the way that the story goes is that record kind of, a lot of people liked it, and then that kind of gave me more confidence to do another one, and I did another one, and I put that one out. And then I kind of was like trying to be a band or like make it. And so, so the story with Merge is that Tom Sharpling from The Best Show, originally on WFMU, he got a hold of the records. Terry, his wife, who has had a show on WFMU also, Terry T., Cherry Blossom Clinic, great show. She got a record and played it a few times, and Tom started liking it, and Tom and I kind of became friends that way, and in a way he became a mentor, because he came out to LA, and we got dinner once and just had a great time talking about goals and ideas and that sort of stuff. And he was the one who kind of said, you should do another record, and you should do it really quick, and get it to me, and I'll see if I can shop it around to some people. And so at that point, I had just put out my second record, which took way longer than I thought it would take, and I was just kind of burnt out on it. And when Tom offered to kind of help me, or at least just get it in front of some people, that was the point at which I was like, I just gotta record an album as fast as I can, do it really raw, and that's what I did. And then I gave it to Tom real quickly, and Tom gave it to some people, and Merge was was my goal, and it actually worked out. But it was a long process. I'm making it sound like it was pretty quick, but it was it was a very long process. So, but that's essentially the story there. Is that I owe a lot. I owe many dinners to Tom Sharpling. He's helped me out quite a bit.
Did the fact that it was Tom Sharpling and then John Worcester, is that connection help at all for the Merge stuff?
Yeah, but he goes back with Merge quite a bit. He's been friends with Mac for years. Mac was the one who introduced him to John.
Yeah.
So he's been around for the beginning days of Merge and Superchunk and stuff. So, but yeah, obviously, Tom and John have a big, John, is a big presence on Merge with Merge bands. So yeah.
I find that interesting, the whole Tom story, because the way I found out about you was through listening to Jonah Radio, and then a couple weeks later he had Tom and Worcester on. So it's kind of this weird maybe
I was on that one too. Yeah.
Oh, you were the one on that, right? It was the same episode.
I didn't say anything. I didn't really say anything because, when you're in the room with a bunch of comedians and you're the only musician and you're not really that funny, I kind of just didn't want to be the guy who was chiming in too much. So.
That's funny though. I didn't realize I for some reason separated those two episodes, that one episode into two episodes in my mind. But yeah, I completely remember that.
Well, and I think that was actually it was my second time meeting John, because I met him when I opened for Superchunk, but I don't think he remembered me from there. But it was funny because I think he thought I was just a guy who was like the pizza guy, because like I showed up because Jonah literally texted me and was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have John and Tom on the podcast tonight. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally. What time do I need to be there?" And he's like, "Can you come now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can." And he was like, "Great." And I said, "Should I bring anything?" And he said, "No, that's cool." And I said, "I'm going to bring a pizza," because it was around dinner time and I hadn't eaten. So I brought a pizza and I showed up and they were like already there. So I showed up and it was like, "Here's the pizza." And then they were kind of like, okay, Tom knew who I was, and so did Jonah, but the other guys didn't know who I was, and I think they just thought I was a guy who delivered pizza and then stuck around. So, yeah, that's another reason why I didn't say anything, because I felt kind of like, I don't know I don't know what's going on, but.
Yeah. That's kind of so do you have a connection with comedy, or is that just like, because you seem to have these comedic friends, or because I know, oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I don't. I guess it's a. I've mentioned this before. Yeah, it's weird because the biggest support that I had from people have always been comedians, and that always made me feel kind of weird, like maybe my music was funny, or like maybe it was a joke to them or something. Like I didn't quite understand why the only people who liked my music were comedians. But I like comedy. I'm a fan of comedy. And any support that I can get, I'm totally thrilled and excited about, and I'm not gonna push anybody away. But yeah, no, I don't know where that came from actually.
No, anyone can write a song, but not everyone can write a song that a comedian likes.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I think comedians seem to be the most vocal online, and they're funny, and there's just with podcasts and all this stuff, just radio shows and stuff like that people do on the side. I can't be thankful enough for all the help that the comedy scene has done for my musical endeavors. So yeah.
Do you think your LA location might have something to do with it, or the LA scene? Because I think this comedy and music scenes are pretty integrated. From what I can tell, I'm obviously on the other side of the country, but
I'd say yes. I'd say that I lived in a lot of different cities. I lived in New York City. I lived in I grew up in Milwaukee, and then I went to New York City. Then I moved to Madison, Wisconsin. Then I went to New Haven, Connecticut, and then I moved to LA. And I can say that my career has done the best in LA, and I feel like it's because it's LA, and there's a lot to that it's kind of cliche, to move to Hollywood and then have your dreams come true, but it's kind of what happened. So I can't say that it's not true. So, yeah.
I'll buy my tickets tomorrow to go to LA.
Yeah, you should. I mean, it's great. The weather is the only reason why I moved out here, and so far everything. I mean, the weather's been great, but everything else has been even greater. So I just wanted to live in a city that didn't snow. That was my only requirement.
So, as you're making this transition to like from the you self-released the first two, like you said, and now you're going on to this album on a relatively big label. Is there a difference? Has working with Merge? I mean, obviously there is a difference, but what is the difference between self-releasing and working with Merge on the album?
I can tell you the difference is that there's a huge difference, and just last night, I got a text from a friend in Seattle who was at a concert, and it was a picture of a poster for my record coming out and for my show that was going to happen in Seattle, being advertised at the venue that he was at, and then within 5 minutes, I got a text from another friend in Minneapolis who said, "Dude, I'm seeing a concert at the First Ave in Minneapolis, and in between bands, they project, the upcoming concerts huge on the curtain or whatever, and they just had your picture, massive size projected on the screen." This is stuff that, happens regularly now that just blows my mind that, I can't even. I mean, you guys are hitting me up. No, I mean, not to say that I didn't have people hitting me up for podcasts before, like Jonah and Tom, and I had other people who were supporters, but really everyone is starting to come out of the woodwork. I'll post a picture on Instagram and it won't get 100 likes, which before, if I got 20 likes, I would be super psyched about. So yeah, I could say that there's a huge difference, and I don't know. I mean, it's also become a full-time job. There's a lot to deal with, so it's not like I'm just sitting here and everything's amazing. But but yeah, it's a big difference.
Is the creative process different, or just the release and the tour? Not okay. Let me. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I would say that I'm sure the creative process is different for other labels, probably more bigger labels or major labels when you have politics and stuff involved. But I can say that so far, in my experience, working with Merge, it's absolutely the same as when I was putting records out myself, and that is 100% the reason why I've always wanted to be on Merge. They're very, they're known for being artist friendly and supportive and just putting out stuff that they believe in. And I'm so lucky that they believed in what I was doing, that they trust me. And that it's funny because I'm a designer and stuff. I had the album artwork all done pretty much before I even knew Merge was interested in it. And when it started happening that they were going to put it out, I was essentially just said, this is the artwork, and they were like, cool. And any other ideas I've had, they've been 100% supportive. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as when I was doing it myself.
So Mike, what can we expect with this next record? Will it be the same as your past records like Trust Fund and I Hate Jazz?
Yeah, so this is the most cliche thing to say, but it's my best record yet. And I know every band says that, and then you're like, no way, man, the first record was the best. And then every record's gone downhill. But no, seriously, this record's the best, and it sounds like the first two records combined, but what they were trying to be. The first two records I recorded, with my friends. In the first one we did in an attic. The second one we did in a house that I used to live in. and then I mixed them myself on GarageBand, the program that you get for free on Macintosh computers. And so this record, we went to a real studio, and I got a real engineer, a guy named Bo Sorensen, who's amazing, and we recorded on tape, and we used all analog equipment and gear, and it sounds exactly how I was hoping it would sound, and it sounds like what the other records were trying to sound like, but failed at. So, I think it's much better, and yeah, it's more of the same, but it's better.
Awesome.
Based on the single that I've heard, This Is the News. It sounds exactly what you're saying. It sounds like the old stuff, but even better. Because I love the old stuff, but it just sounds like the progression, the natural progression of your music, and it's just getting better and better.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like this sounds kind of cheesy, but it's kind of magical. There was a magic moment that happened when we recorded, and I really feel like the record is a testament to the magic that happened. So I'm excited for everyone to hear it, because it's special to me. But you know.
And do you have any goals like with this? Like, what are you hoping this album accomplishes? I'm not sure if you have really an answer for that, but like, what are you hoping for like in your career?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be 100% honest, my goal has already accomplished the fact that A, the record's coming out on merch, but B, the goal that I've always wanted was I just wanted a record that would be for sale in a store. That's the only goal I've ever had with my musical career. Is like, man, if I could have something that's like in a store, that would be really cool, because I'm just such a fan and collector of music, and music ephemera and stuff like that in general, that I'm the guy who I love going to physical record stores. I love just seeing what's new and flipping through racks, and I've always just wanted my stuff to be in there with stuff, right next to other records that I like. And so the fact that that's happening, that's my goal. And if people love it, that's great. And if this tour goes well, that's even greater. And and if I do another record after this that sells better, then cool. But I'm really just, I'm already ecstatic that this is happening at all. So that's my goal.
All right. So becoming the voice of a generation, that's just secondary to you?
I'm not gonna hold my breath. I feel like it's better to have the lowest expectations possible, because then no matter what, you're gonna be psyched. So right now,
that's very true.
I'm super psyched. Yeah. I'm just surprised people care at all. Like, every time someone says they're gonna go to a concert or likes, favorites a tweet or whatever, I'm just blown away. So yeah.
Where is are you headlining the tour, or are you opening? I haven't looked it up. What's the tour going to be like?
The days that are on the West Coast, I'm going to be opening up for Mac solo stuff, and I am just also ecstatic about that, as he's a huge inspiration and one of my favorite musicians of all time. So that's an honor in and of itself. And then the rest of the dates, I guess I would say I'm headlining, I think, but I honestly, I don't even really know. I think I would be considered a headliner, but awesome. Again, everything is very exciting at this point. So if someone says like, you're playing first, I'll be like, that's great. I'll play first.
This is the biggest tour you've done, correct?
I would consider this like the only tour I've done.
Okay.
I mean, I did a tour before, and it was, I don't know if you can call it a tour. Like, most bands would be like, that's not a tour, but it was like seven shows in a row, and I was like, that's a tour. But so yeah, this is a big deal for me.
How are you feeling about it? Just like generally.
Well, if I could be honest with this podcast. I would say that I'm definitely a little bit.
No honesty here.
No, honestly, I'm gonna give it to you anyway. I'm gonna give it to you straight, guys.
Okay.
I'm terrified. I'm definitely nervous about it. I think that I've always been good at stepping up to the plate when it's time to step up to the plate. And I work good under pressure.
Yeah.
I've always been that way, but I think that it will go great. But for a guy who has only total the amount of concerts I've played, I haven't counted, but I think it's under. It has to be under 15 concerts that I've played in my whole life, as far as my own band.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of concerts as a drummer, but yeah. So I'm nervous, but I think that's part of the charm, maybe.
Yeah.
I think people will understand that I'm uncomfortable and nervous, and we'll get into it, and they'll hopefully be welcoming and receptive, and then that will give me some more confidence, and by the end of the night, people will be sold on it. But yeah.
I was really excited when I saw the tour announcement, because the DC date is on a weekend. It's a good week. And then I realized, fuck, it's on the weekend of a festival I'm going to. I was so excited to see you. And you're playing at this great venue in DC.
It's like a ping pong club, right?
It's actually a pizza place, but that has... Okay, so basically the layout of this restaurant is it's pizza, and then there's ping pong tables in the back. And what they do for shows is they take out the ping pong tables.
Dude, I say we leave them in. I'm a very good ping pong player, and I have my own paddle. I should bring it on the road just for that venue. But yeah, we should leave the tables and just do a tournament instead.
No, it's a really fun venue. I saw Bass Drum at Death there a year or two back, and it's a intimate venue, but it's not too intimate. It's not it's not a house show, and it's
okay. Well, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about the intimacy.
Yeah.
For concerts, I think the smaller the better for right now. I think that will be exciting. But that sucks. What music festival are you going to?
It's this thing called Landmark Festival in DC. It's a bunch of cool bands. Drake and the Strokes are headlining, so I couldn't miss out.
Well, why am I not playing that?
Yeah, you should just.
I got to get on my booking agent.
Yeah. You're here this...
Drop the ball.
No, I wish you were playing there, because then I could see you. I'm really pissed. I was so...
Yeah. Well, what is it? It's just a one-day thing or a multiple-day thing?
The festival, it's a 2-day thing. It's Saturday and Sunday.
And you're going both days?
Yeah.
And then Saturday and Sunday, you said?
Yeah. And I think...
Am I playing somewhere close on Friday for you? Or
let me see.
Monday?
I want to see. This is going to be exciting for the podcast listeners, me looking up your tour.
I see North Carolina the day before that.
That's not close.
Not close?
Yeah. That's a bummer. Maybe it'll be late enough. Who knows? Maybe Drake will cancel, and I'll be okay, screw Drake.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. I'll just have to play again.
Yeah, come back soon.
Yeah.
Just come back every weekend until Ethan can come.
I will.
But if you need food recommendations or anything, please hit me up, and I will. Things to do. Record stores. I know record stores are a specialty of mine, so I can let you know the local knowledge, and so you don't have to go to the White House and the Washington Monument for your entertainment.
Yeah. What's the one, the one that, did you guys see Dave Grohl's Sonic Highways?
Oh, yeah. I saw a couple episodes, but it was...
You didn't see DC?
No, I saw DC. I saw the DC episode.
So what's the record store that guy was in there?
There was an episode, I think that was... They were going in a record store?
Well, they were going into a record store. There was just the guy who... Gosh, I'm gonna sound like I should know the name of this. What's the record store that would sell Discord stuff? And
there's a couple Crooked Beat, Smash. Probably Crooked Beat's the big one, but maybe it's. There's no huge stores in DC. All the stores sell Discord stuff. If you don't find a DC store of Discord stuff, you're not in DC.
Okay.
So and you can I've run into Ian just like delivering records and stuff. So like,
That's awesome.
I actually saw Ian Savenius at a record store a couple weeks ago, which was just like, whoa, okay.
That's awesome also.
Yeah, you just like being in DC, you're just like, oh, there. Like I was at Fort Reno Monday. It's like, oh, there's Ian Mackay, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's great.
This is
That
good
makes me happy.
to ask you about who are your influences? Who would you say are your favorite artists that influenced you to be where you are right now on this podcast?
Well, I'd say, yeah. I have a wide range, a diverse range. Talking about Ian, I like both Ians. I really like the Makeup a lot, and I like Chain and the Gang.
Yeah.
If we're talking about that,
Chain and the
Ian.
Gang have played Comet Pizza a bunch, so you're playing the same stage as Chain and the Gang.
Then that makes me happy. If I could be half as cool as him and that band, then I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, I love Makeup. I've always liked the Makeup, I like Minor Threat too. If we're talking about the other
definitely.
Ian, and I like Fugazi, of course. But if we're talking about more obvious, or well, maybe not so obvious, but I guess stylistically, I gotta say Superchunk. I love Superchunk. I love the Descendants, and I love.
Ethan's a big Descendants fan.
I'm gonna turn on video for 2 seconds just to show you my Descendants love. If you can you see that in the background?
Find out.
Are you on your computer?
Oh
no. I'll send you a picture after, but I have a giant.
There's a big Milo Goes to College
poster, and
yeah.
You got a Milo Goes to College poster?
It's actually technically called a flag on their website. It's like gigantic.
It looks like a flag to me, but like I said, I haven't actually been in the room, like shit and stuff. Like I don't know.
That album's incredible. That album, that album. Okay, so if you had a physical copy of my first album, which you guys don't, right?
I wish I did, but by the time I found out, it's sold out.
I can't say I do.
Okay, sorry guys, but so the first album, in the liner notes, I said debts owed to Milo Aukerman, Rivers Cuomo, and Gordon Gano, and so that would be Milo, obviously Descendants, Rivers, Weezer, and Gordon from the Violent Femmes, and I feel like those three bands, and those in particular, Milo Goes to College, Violent Femmes' first album, and Blue Album, and Pinkerton.
The Blue Album is probably it's tied for like my favorite album of all time.
Pinkerton is my second favorite. So.
Yeah.
I mean you can't. Yeah, it was funny. Just the other day, I was with my girlfriend. We were at a restaurant, and Buddy Holly came on, and I was like, you can't beat this. You can't. Like you can't. There's like nothing I do in my life will ever beat this, and that just
equal it.
Yeah,
that's a big task.
Yeah, it blows my mind that album happened and that it came out the way that it came out, and I don't know. I think if you're of the age that I was, and you.
What age were you? Just because I want to know.
I'm 31, so when
what age were you? What age were you when you heard it?
When that came out, I was, when did that come out? 93 or 94?
94, May of 94.
Okay.
Okay, well.
That's my favorite record, so I know this stuff.
Okay, so then I was, if it came out in May of 94, I was 10 years old.
Perfect.
And that was
that's perfect.
Yeah,
it's perfect because, yeah.
Yeah, it's about that age.
I got, if we're gonna date ourselves, I mean that year for Christmas I got Weezer's Blue Album, I got Green Day Dookie,
oh my god,
I got Offspring Smash, and then I think just to sound like a jerk, I got Silverchair, Frog Stomp, also, and out of all those albums, the Blue Album was the one that I just couldn't stop listening to, and I just couldn't stop staring at that photo, and I couldn't just everything about that album was, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that there were normal people. And that's the same thing like with the Descendants and with the Violent Femmes, the other two bands that I really feel a strong connection to, is like they're just normal guys. They're normal guys. You know, they don't look like punks. They don't look like weird, you know, like compared to if you saw a picture of, you know, the Offspring or even like Beck. I was really into Beck at that time. And I remember, you know, because I loved the song Loser, and I had the cassette single, and the cassette single was like this artwork. He was, you know, he's wearing this like alien mask, and he's walking around, and it's all distorted and looks super 90s.
He's definitely not a normal guy.
He's not a normal guy, and I just remember just like I love that song, and I loved it, and that was my, you know, that was my introduction into like, wow, there's like music that is being made that I'm responding to, but I just remember there's just always a big disconnect between me and you know, listening to Beck. I'd be like, that guy's a weirdo, and then I'd listen to Weezer and I'd see this picture of this band, I'd be like, those guys look like me. How did this happen?
But
like, I listened to that album when I was in 8th grade. That's when I kind of really started to connect to that album. Like, I was going through a tough time. I listened to that school. I'd go to school every day, and I'd come home and listen to that album at least once, maybe twice a day, every day.
Oh, you have
every single one.
Yeah.
I got just like when you're in junior high, just like all those feelings and everything. Like just. And then
my gosh.
And Pinkerton's kind of like the afterwards, kind of like the teenage angst, kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could talk about this for hours, I think.
I think we could just change the podcast to the Blue Album podcast. I would be right there with you guys, man. It's a special thing.
Yeah.
And
I definitely hear it, like kind of the same power pop, these emotional like songs you're talking about this like when you're listening to like 15, it definitely reminds me of a Pinkerton song.
Thank you. Yes, I agree.
Or 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's always the touchstone for me as far as like if I'm trying to get inspired or something, I listen to the Blue Album or, you know, these albums that have these timeless quality of this teenage angst stuff, which I don't know. I mean, like, I'm an adult. You know, but it still resonates so much, and it's just so powerful too. Like, that's my favorite type of songwriting. You know?
I did notice one thing about your favorite artists. All of them are some of my favorite artists, but they are all artists who had an artistic decline in the later years. That was just an interesting thing I noticed.
Which is why, I say that it's like cliche to be like, this new album is my best album because Weezer's without a doubt is going to tell you that the album that just came out is their best album, and I think that album is horrible.
Oh, you didn't like Everything Will Be Alright in the End?
I mean, do I like it better than Gratitude? No. Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, that's like it's constantly like it's good for a modern Weezer. Like it's just like, to me, it's like you have to put a qualifier before talking about liking it. For me,
yeah.
I actually kind of liked it a lot. I kind of fell into. I mean, nowhere near Pinkerton, but I'm like, it's good. I'm happy with it.
I feel like they steered away a little bit away from the cliches. So I want to listen to it a couple times, but like, it's better than like the Red Album where they just kind of they embraced every instinct they had. They just embraced it.
It's funny because with every, not to keep on talking about Weezer, I'm sure this is not what we wanted to do.
No, I love talking about Weezer. I could do it all day.
Likes it too, so it's good.
Okay. It's like with every album that they put out, they're always like, it's a return to the Blue Album. Like, don't worry, guys. This is like I remember when the Red Album came out and they released Pork and Beans, and they're like, this is a return to form. It's going to be like the Blue Album. And I pre-ordered that. I was like, give me the deluxe version. I cannot wait. If you are telling me, if you're calling this the Red Album and the cover looks like the Blue Album and like it's going to, and Pork and Beans, you know, I thought, I didn't think it was. Yeah, it was, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's not. Is it great? No, definitely not. But is it better than
Make Believe?
Make Believe is not even an album.
God.
We're not even going to talk about Make
Believe.
That album doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it's I'm the sucker who it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, you know. If you're every album you're gonna put out as Weezer and say like, oh, this is the Blue album again, I'm just gonna stop listening. So that's when I heard that this one was coming out, Everything Will Be Alright in the end, and they were like, this is old Weezer back. I was like, nope, I've heard that one before. You're not getting my money.
Well, and that's another thing you talked about is how like they're teenage angst and everything, but they're not teenage, like they're in their 40s now or late 30s. I don't know exact 40s.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But I feel no. But I mean, you can still make interesting music in your later. I think it's just some artists just find that they can't.
Right.
Not even later years.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to switch it up. I think that's the problem that they've run into is that they tried to switch it up, but like
it didn't work.
Switch.
Yeah,
or you do a Descendants where it's just kind of the exact same thing again, and it just doesn't.
But about adult problems, yeah.
I mean, I still like the later Descendants, but I mean, it's same thing with like I like Everything Will Be Alright in their end. It's pretty good. Or later Violent Femmes. I'm like, it's pretty good.
I'm the biggest advocate for late, voice crack. I'm the biggest advocate for late era Violent Femmes, and people people don't like it, but I really do think later stuff is pretty good. And
what did you think of the new EP?
Okay, well I didn't like that. if I was being honest,
that was pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean. I guess when I'm talking about late era, I'm still talking about stuff in like the 90s. But, but I'll give it another shot. I don't know. I guess another band, another huge favorite of mine, and I'm wearing a shirt right now for them, is the Pixies. And I really think the Pixies, they're a band that Frank Black, I love Frank Black. I love Frank Black's solo stuff, all of his solo stuff. And he's an artist and a songwriter who I feel like he even can get better with age. And some of his,
Indie City, though.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
I actually haven't listened to it yet, so I need to get on. I mean, I need at least just listen to it to confirm that it's bad or good.
Well, I pulled a Red album with that one. When they announced that, I was like, sign me up, pre-order deluxe edition, without even hearing it. And I can't say that it's an album that I listened to, that I've actually even listened to more than once. But I can say that I listened to the album and I was like, I don't know, it's okay. Like it's still Frank Black, and for some reason for me, because maybe his songwriting isn't as literal as maybe Weezer or other band or like Descendants, where it's like very personal. Frank, is much more artsy and it's more abstract. I feel like that music can age really well, So it's a tough one too, because I worry about that as myself as a musician, where my music is more in the vein of this thing happened and I'm going to talk about it right now. And I worry about like, I'm just not going to be the guy who's like, here's my album and it's about, buying a house. Well, I take that back, because this new one is all about houses and stuff. So
just house song after house song.
Yeah.
It's called Turkey.
It's called Turkey, and it's about houses. There's a lot of things that are going to line up and make sense to anybody other than me, but
it's fine.
Anyway, am I killing you guys with time?
No, we are.
Like I could talk about the Pixies because I just started listening. Like I used to not really care for them, but like Surfer Rosa just a couple weeks ago clicked for me, and I think I think it's one of like just because it's so weird and it shouldn't work. It's like how many things they try to put together, but it works so well.
That album's amazing, and you know what? I'm sorry. I think I do think that Surfer Rosa and Doolittle are amazing, but I'm going to also be of the very not popular opinion that one of my favorite albums of theirs, and probably my favorite album of theirs, is Trompe Le Monde, their last album that they put out before they like broke up the first time. And people hate that record because they're like, it sounds like a band that's trying to break up with themselves, and whatever, it's not very good. But I don't know, there's some really good songs, so I recommend you listen to that one, because I feel like something happened there where if Surfer Rosa is harder to get into, Tromplement, if you don't have that one, is pretty accessible. It sounds. I think that's maybe why people don't like it, is that it sounds polished and
Well, things like I think their music, like that's what I didn't like about it at first, was that it sounded really accessible to me. It just sounded like, oh, this is just another alt rock band. But even though they're the first, still, it's just like, oh. But then I finally Surfer Rose clicked. I'm like, this isn't like anything I've ever heard before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, I'll definitely give it a chance. I'm working their way through their discography as we speak. Like, just listen to Pixies. No, but
do it. Listen to it. It's genius. That's a songwriting genius, as far as I'm concerned. But,
I mean, I could literally be talking with these albums or these artists for a while, but I think I don't want to waste our listeners and your time. I would be fine with it. But I say we move on to a couple other things. But I mean, if you would want to, I would be willing to talk about just every album that you like and analyze it.
We should. We should do that over pizza at Comet Cafe.
I'm so mad that you should just stop by the outskirts of the festival and I'll wave to you, or bring pizza. Bring pizza to the outskirts of the festival.
We should play in the parking lot.
Oh, that would be great. Just do
a generator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should do
I don't think we'll do that, but yeah.
You should you should do that in front of the White House as this really punk thing. You're like, we're in DC, we're gonna
really political. Yeah. It's like Fugazi.
Yeah. Ian Mackay will be there definitely. He's at everything.
Wearing a hat.
Oh yeah, he was wearing a hat. I was like, he's wearing the exact same red hat he's been wearing for.
Wait, was it the winter hat or was it the bucket hat that he's been wearing of late?
Bucket hat.
Oh God, that bucket hat! He's got to get rid of the bucket hat. He's the only person I know who can wear a bucket hat, and I'm still like, I'm not furious about it. I don't like it, but it's also like, if there's one dude to make a bucket hat look cool,
it's Ian.
He's going to be the guy. Yeah.
I actually was lucky enough to recently. I was doing a paper on punk and conservatism and a bunch of stuff. I was lucky enough to interview him, which was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. I was just like the most nervous wreck for the 45 minutes I was talking to him, but it was the coolest thing. And he's
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that story. I think I was just bragging, but
yeah,
you were bragging, but
yes.
It's cool. I take it. I would be a nervous wreck also talking to him. I don't know what I would say.
I wouldn't be completely surprised if he ended up at your show. There's cool people. These guys, the DC punk guys, just go to shows and they don't give a shit about it. So be on the lookout.
Don't tell me that because now I'm gonna be freaked out.
Because I've usually. Yeah, Ian plays there or Ian Savenius plays there. Yeah, because I saw both Ians at the same show once. That was pretty crazy. It's like, oh. Yeah,
it seems like that's something that should be photographed and videotaped. This is history.
Yeah.
In the making. These two minds. It's like when you see pictures of the Beatles and Elvis hanging out, or it's just
or the video of A$AP Rocky and A$AP Rock pretty recently or something.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny. Or I want them to make a collaborative album. They should. They could. He already has a band called the Evens. Why can't he be the Ians? It's not that hard.
He should. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I'm pretty sure someone's made that on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do have one question, a very specific question. On your website, you have MikeKrol.com/I spend time on computers. Is just a bunch of pictures of you on your webcam. Oh, yeah. And one of them is you in your Violent Femme shirt, which is a very stylish shirt. I'm jealous of it.
Yep, got that one on eBay.
Ooh, nice.
From Thailand. The funniest thing is that I'm from Milwaukee, and one of my best friends, his name is Carl Johnson, and his uncle is Brian Ritchie, the bass player in the Violent Femmes.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
It is the coolest, and also we were in a band together when I was in high school, and Brian Ritchie came to our concert. That's how cool it was. And yeah, it's funny because I hate. Where was I going? Oh, I had to buy a shirt from Thailand on eBay when, I'm from Milwaukee and I don't have a Violent Femmes shirt. That's where I was going. It was funny.
Okay.
But I'm picky about shirts, so I had to be a cool one, and the cool one happened to be in Thailand. But I did think that was funny. But yeah, you're talking about this thing on my website. Yeah, I hate the internet, and I hate websites in general, and I just think they're a pain to update and figure out, and I just don't. I'm the kind of person who doesn't do anything on the internet but my email.
Uh-huh.
So my bookmarks page. Well, I don't even have a bookmarks thing, but if it did, it would just be Gmail and Facebook, which I only go to because I have to. But
you should come to an AMA on our subreddit sometime.
Yeah. See, I don't even know when people talk about Reddit and other things blogs that sort. I don't even know is that a blog? Is that called a blog?
Hey.
It's a social media, I would call it. I don't know.
It's like user-generated content.
It's like a big.
We'll get to some kind of time.
I've gone to that. I've gone to that website, and it looks like MS-DOS.
Yeah, it's the shittiest looking website. It honestly, I
can't stand. I just can't. My eyes don't.
I can't imagine as a graphic designer, you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I have no time for that. If I go to a website and I can't figure out what's going on easily, I just immediately just close it. So.
Yeah, some band websites are pretty horrendous. But then you get the weird ones. There's this band called, I think, Ricky Eat Acid. I'm going on their website now, which I highly recommend for everyone to go on Ricky Eat Acid's website, because they just have a bunch of weird, super. I think it was Ricky Eat Acid. I think. It's called Haunt You Forever. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I'm getting on a weird tangent. I'll come back to it. But continue.
Yeah. Well, it. Yeah. What were we talking? What was the question? The pictures of me on the website.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hate the internet and I hate websites. So I just don't want a website. But I wanted a domain name. So I just needed to put something on there, and then it kind of started as a joke. Being a graphic designer, I'm always in front of a computer, and I've worked in a bunch of different studios, and all my friends, for the most part, a lot of them are doing the same thing, in front of computers, working at different studios across America. So we would start to just send photos. So one of the pictures on there is of my friend. His name is Curtis Jenkins, and he lives in Texas. And we would just send pictures of what we were eating.
Is that the donut sticks one?
Yeah, that's the donut. He's got a donuts one. And then I sent him a picture. One time for lunch, I ate. I think there's a picture of me with a bag of microwavable popcorn and a Sun Drop soda.
Yep, there is.
Yep.
And you look like you're contemplating the Sun Drop very hard, very, very strongly.
Yeah. I think I just feel more weird because that was in a studio where there was other people working, and some people could see that I was clearly not working and taking a selfie, and that would probably be a little bizarre. So I think I was trying to play it cool, but yeah, basically I just ended up with a bunch of photos of me in front of computers in front of different places that I've worked over the years, and
that's another thing. Your hair has a lot of different links in these photos, so obviously it was taken over a period of time. This is a project.
Yeah, it was it was an ongoing thing, and I never thought that anyone would care about it. So you guys are the first people to mention it, and it was done years before I thought I would have a career in music. So, I didn't think anybody would ever ask me about that. So, and I'm just too lazy to change my website, so that I just haven't. I probably should change it, though, right? I mean, if people are going to go to Google me.
I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to find a tour, and I had to go to the Merge's website to find that information.
Maybe just make a separate tab, but I definitely think you should keep this up.
Yeah. Okay. If nothing else, definitely keep I spend time on computers.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe just put a really like as with your background in graphic design, just make like a really shitty looking tour schedule that you can put somewhere.
I should.
Turkey in stores now.
Yeah.
But like all in Comic Sans and like.
No Comic Sans. Not even for a joke purpose. I won't use that.
So
you should go to counterculture.com. That's my other website for my fake record label, and it's more pictures of people with holding the record. That's
pretty entertaining.
Yeah, so it's kind of a thing for me. Is like putting stupid pictures on the internet, and
Is I Hate Jazz still available or no?
No, it's gone.
Are you gonna? Oh, one of the guys is wearing a Joy Formidable shirt. That's who I'm seeing at the festival. That weekend that you are coming. Full circle.
Full circle. That is my friend Nate Fernald, who's a comedian also, and he was just on the Louis show.
Oh, that's why I swear he looked familiar. So yeah.
Yeah, he is the biggest Weezer fan besides myself that I know. So if you see him around, talk to him about the Blue album and
ask me about my Blue album.
Yeah. He's also in my music video that will be coming out shortly.
Ooh, for what song?
It's a song that hasn't been released yet called Neighborhood Watch.
Is this the first announcement of this?
I guess so.
Oh, we got an
Indieheads exclusive.
r/Indieheads podcast exclusive.
God. Don't get me in trouble for that.
No, we will not. And we the whole reason we had you on this podcast was to get you in trouble. That's why we wanted you on.
Yeah, they're going to pull the record deal from me.
So we were talking about your career in graphic design. Do you think that's influenced your music at all?
No.
Okay. It's what made you. It's like the rebellion you're going against, kind of. In a way.
Yes. Yeah. I don't like graphic design. I hate it. So.
I'm taking a class in it. So, thanks for inspiring.
You're taking a class in it?
I'm about to. So, thanks for the inspiration.
I don't know. It's fine. I mean, people. I have the utmost respect for people who can do it. Day in and day out. Which I've been there. But yeah, I guess me doing music was my way of being like, I just don't want to do graphic design. I need to do something else.
Yeah. So we have a couple.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you finish what you were saying.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, I got into graphic design because I got into music. I got into music, growing up. Like we said, I would get CDs. I'd get the Weezer Blue album. I'd take the Blue album out and I'd flip open the picture on the inside and look at the picture and read all the credits, and doing that sort of stuff was what got me into graphic design, and then more specifically doing graphic design for the music industry. So music has always been my first love, but that's what got me into graphic design. So they go together.
And the I Hate Jazz cover definitely has that blue or that color, person on color thing.
Yeah, I mean that was a nod to yeah.
But I mean the Weezer's was either a nod to the Beach Boys or the Feelies, depending on who you ask. So like no one's original.
Everything, we're just
a lot of nodding going on.
Yeah, especially in like music. I feel like music, especially, you just gotta get a lot of it. Like, especially
art is dead. Nothing's original anymore.
Well, in album art and like especially in DIY stuff, everyone is referencing each other. I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you can find, like, all the mashup shirts or whatever, the stupid mashup shirts and the somewhat entertaining ones, or, like, I know Jonah Ray is a big fan of the Monsters Outside guy, who does these, like, cool punk TV show mashups.
Yeah, I've seen that guy's Instagram.
I have a Black Flag Twin Peaks mashup button that I'm very happy with. So.
Yes.
And but like you just, especially in like the punk garage DIY, there's just a lot of like inbreeding, to say the least, like in terms of what the arts, the people, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like because everyone loves each other's art, so they reference it.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know what the point I was trying to prove is. Like,
no, that's okay. I don't know what I can add to that either.
No, because my point, I'm saying a point that's very obvious.
You can't see right now, but I'm nodding. You know, I'm giving a nod. You're not.
Thank you. Send me a video later of your nod. I'll appreciate it.
It's a good one. Okay.
So we have a couple people who wanted to ask questions. One of them's obnoxious and one of them isn't. So one of them, we asked to get questions on Reddit, and Reddit being Reddit, they asked only one question, and it was obnoxious. And do you ever get it mistaken for Nick Krol?
Oh, that's not obnoxious. That's fine. People can ask me that. I can tell you that I haven't gotten mistaken for him, but I think people spell my name wrong a lot more because of that guy becoming more popular than me first. And yeah, it was funny when that guy started coming up on the scene. I was like, no.
It's like the guy in Office Space. What's his?
Yeah, it's like he's a douche. Like,
oh, Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would I have to change?
I also had a science teacher who was really into like metal and stuff. He's a really cool guy, but his name was Brian Adams. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. I thought I would be okay with Krol, but he came out of left field for me. And it's unfortunately his name also, like Nick, is kind of close to Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan either, though. I mean, honestly, I'm not. Like his stand-up stuff just doesn't really appeal to me. So I'm definitely a bigger fan of the Mike Krol than the Nick Krol, for sure.
Well, thank you. I can't say I've watched his show enough to have an opinion on it, but I've seen him around.
Yeah, because you guys hang out in the same circles, it seems. From what I can tell.
Yeah, in a way. I think it's more just like LA's kind of small once you actually are here, and like I've just seen him in a few bars a few times, and I've wanted to go up to him. This was before. This is when I was nobody.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to go up to him and just be like, well, I'm still nobody if I'm being honest. But now at least I could be like, no, I have a record.
Yeah, just walk up to him and just be like, hey, I'm Mike Krol from Merge. Nice to meet you.
Talk back in your wallet. Just bring it out.
I should see if Merge makes business cards. Because I want one.
You should get him to be in your next music video. And you'll play like doppelgangers.
That's a good idea.
Give me credit. I expect all credit.
That'd be some of the marketing, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Because Michael Cronin just got all those people for that video, the Kirsten Shaw and Jonah Ray.
He did.
And Weezer, Rivers Cuomo and the girl from Best Coast, they just did a video together.
Well, Weezer's slightly bigger than Michael Cronin.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so if we're talking about names, and we're talking about my name and stuff, more than Nick Krol becoming famous, when Michael Cronin got signed to Merge, at that point I was like, I'm done. I'm never going to get signed.
But now you're both on Merge.
I was like, Merge just filled their quota of my Crow names. You know, like that's it. I'm done. So I was pretty.
You're devastated.
Yeah, I was devastated.
Rock bottom.
But yeah, so.
Do you ever just scroll through the Merge, or just look at the Merge roster and just be like, I'm part of this now? Do you just ever just have that? Because I'm immediately jealous and just sitting through and just be like, Arcade Fire, they play Stadia, like just being like having those moments.
Didn't they not aren't they on another label now?
I thought they were still on Merge.
Well, I saw like their last album, Reflector, is like on like self. Like, let me look it up.
I think they have their own little thing that they're also doing.
Okay, but fine. Bob Mould, Superchunk, like you were saying. It's just like, and the other
Titus Andronicus.
Titus Andronicus.
XX. Dinosaur Jr.
Oh yeah, I can't forget Dinosaur. Let's just list all the great merge artists. It just goes on and on and on. Archer's a loaf. Jesus Christ.
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Oh.
In game point.
Okay.
Set match.
Are you a big Archer's a Loaf fan? I don't know. You could remind me a bit of them.
I like Icky Metal a lot.
Yeah. Icky Metal.
I bought the reissue when Merge did it with the bonus stuff.
Oh, it's so good. All the bonus songs are so good too.
Yeah, I really like that album, and I haven't, for some reason, I just haven't dug into a lot of the other albums.
That's exactly, because I feel like every time I listen to Icky Metal, I'm like, I don't need to listen. Like, I'm just so satisfied. Like, even though I've heard other albums are great.
Yeah, I agree. I should definitely dig into more of their stuff.
I've wanted to too.
I do like them.
Yeah. I'm just like, when you see the Merge roster, it's just so impressive. Honestly,
it's the best. It's seriously the best of a contemporary record label.
I'd say. I mean, I put Sub Pop up there, but yeah, Merge is definitely got a lot in the game.
Yeah,
Sub Pop has some good. Well, all right. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm not gonna start a fight, but yeah,
get some beef.
Yeah, there's a lot of good record labels, but I think Merge is my favorite, and I'm very happy, and I look at the roster all the time, and I don't understand why my name is there. So yes,
Merge is one of my favorite record labels because they offer free shipping on there, and they give reasonable prices, and they have great artists. So it's like this great combination. I'm like, I can get good music for a good price, and there's nothing better.
Yeah, I agree.
I was I was so excited when I saw all these artists. I'm like, I just had a free shipping moment. I'm just like, I'm gonna buy everything on here.
Yeah, and it's the shipping. I don't know if you guys have ordered records from them before. The boxes are really nice.
Yeah, they are.
They're like fancy boxes. Could you hear
I've
that beep?
I've never ordered from them, but I might order for you. We'll see.
I want to order your record, and I ordered Funeral and Icky Metal when there was a sale. So, and it was it was really nice.
You guys didn't order my record yet?
that was my, I was gonna interview you, see if you were worthy of my money.
Oh, gosh.
Interview.
Gotta get on it.
I'm going to. You know what? I'm gonna go on Merge right now and open the website.
It's a cheap record. That's the other thing.
Isn't it like? Yeah, it's $15. I was like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I think the CD is like $8.99 or something. I don't know what it is. I shouldn't. Don't quote me on that. But it's very cheap.
$8.98. I see here.
Oh, okay. So 1 cent cheap. And the LP is like $17. I'll definitely pick it up, but I might pick it up from my local store.
Yeah, pick it up. Get the LP. It has a poster in it.
Awesome.
There's like some. Well, I guess the poster is the bells and whistles, but it's nice. I'm
gonna pick up that and the Sugar record, and I'm just gonna do get my Merge out.
You should.
Okay, so we have one more question. This comes from a friend of mine who I was listening to you on Spotify today to prep for the interview. And I was like, oh, how Spotify has like the thing that's like, so and so also listens to this artist. I'm like, hey, do you have any questions? And she did have a question, luckily. So she had a question about I don't know how you would pronounce this track, but it's the one that's a dot.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I wanted it to not be anything, but right. I guess you couldn't do that. So.
Like, you want to be less than untitled.
Yeah, I should have just wrote Untitled, but then I thought people would think that it was specifically called Untitled. But
you should call it No Name, No Title.
Yeah, please, guys, don't think this song has a title. It's really untitled. Please.
Yeah. That's a real the track that she is referring to is the last track on my second album, and the second album is it's an album that kind of talks about a thing that I went through, a breakup and a sad time, but it's about moving across the country, and that literally happened, and that last track is a voicemail that I got, and it's real, and it's my landlord, who was my landlord when I lived in New Haven. But she lived in New York City, so she says she calls from New York City, just to clarify that. But yeah, that's a real thing. And
that's awesome.
She used to come up when I lived in New Haven. She would come up once a week and check on the apartments and have this worker guy do some work on the apartments. And she's older, and so she would just kind of sit in the car and just like wait and like read a book while he like would check plumbing and whatever he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at the art gallery at the time, Yale University Art Gallery, and part-time, so I'd only work in the mornings, and I would come home, and then I'd do freelance in the afternoons. But I would normally get home right when she was like outside kind of reading with her book. So I started to like befriend her, and I would sometimes eat lunch. I would get lunch on my way home, and then I would eat it with her, while she would just like tell me stories about stuff, and we became friends. And
Mm-hmm.
She always had a lot of advice to give me, and I told her that I wanted to, when I told her that I was going to break my lease, and I was moving to California, and I wanted to work on an old car, she had a lot of advice about that, and that's she mentions that in the voicemail, and that's kind of why the album cover is a picture of the car that I bought when I moved out here. So,
okay.
So it's a full circle. It ties in the whole. It's like the whole story is pretty much summed up in that voicemail. But yeah, is a real thing.
Her voice reminds me of Travis Morrison's impersonation of his mom on Ice of Boston for some reason.
I am unfamiliar, but I will check it out.
It's a good song. Dismember Me Play On is one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
But yeah, so how did the permission process? Are you just like, hey, can I put this on our album? And she's like, sure. Is that basically?
Yeah. I called her and I asked her, and she said that's fine. And then I sent her, I sent her a record when it came out, and then of course she was like. She's like, I don't have a record player and I don't know how to listen to this. And then she has some kids who are, her kids are old. They have families of their own and stuff. So her son, I think, downloaded it on his laptop and played it for her. And it's funny because from what I've heard from her, she said that they like love it, that they think that it's the coolest thing that I did that, because like it perfectly summed up her and like the way that she speaks and everything about her, because she told me that the first time she heard it she was like, did I sound like that, and that they were like, yeah, Mom, this is like, that's exactly what you sound like. And so they like it because it's their mom. I've never met them, and
yeah, I'm
glad that they just didn't think it was weird that I did that. So but yeah, she still lives in New York, and I hope to see her when I go when I play New York. I'm going to try to get lunch with her or something, because she's getting up there in age, so I want to see her. But yeah.
Wow, we've been talking for a while, but it flew by.
We should go. Yeah. I actually have to go see Mission Impossible.
I've heard it's very good, Eric's, so enjoy it.
I don't know why I'm going. My friend wants to go.
It's supposed to be very entertaining. Don't feel guilty.
Okay.
Simon Pegg's in it. Simon Pegg's great.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like him.
I didn't see the other one though. Approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean,
well, that's good. I just don't really like Tom Cruise.
Did you see? Did you see Edge of Tomorrow?
No.
It was a very good movie. Highly
recommend.
Did you see
Rain Man?
Rain Man?
Yeah, Rain Man. Tom Cruise.
Not in a long time.
It was a fantastic film. You should watch that instead. I don't know.
We're just gonna get mad at you until you like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that documentary on Scientology?
Yes.
Let's talk about Tom Cruise.
It's messed up. But no, he's supposed to...
We gotta separate the art from the artist. I mean, like...
And he's supposedly leaving the church. There are rumors. But no,
I'll believe that when I see it.
It's fucking messed up. He's messed up as a person, obviously, that he's trying to support that.
Yeah.
Terrible. No. Yeah, that documentary is incredibly disturbing, and the people who support it, and when they know what's happening, are incredibly fucked up. No, I completely agree with you.
But Rain Man, that's a good film.
Great. Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay. It was really nice talking to you, and I keep in touch, and maybe we can. Maybe I'll try to stop by. And I'll skip Drake and come see you.
Yeah, I know how expensive festivals are. Don't worry about it. I'll be back.
And I'll see you then, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thanks for inviting me, guys.
Thank you for being on.
You know, yeah, no problem.
Great.
It was a great conversation, I think.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Oh, wait,
bye-bye.
I have one more
Adios.
question. One more question.
Oh, yeah.
Should we play the single from the new album, or do you want to play something from the old albums as the song to go out on? Is there something you would like to play at the end here?
Play the new song.
Okay.
Yeah, play the new one.
Okay. Sorry to. I was thinking about that the whole time. I'm like,
okay.
At the end, I'm gonna ask him. And then right at the end, I'm just like completely forgot.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
okay.
Play the new one. I think that one's.
Do an NPR voice as the intro.
Yeah.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Do your NPR voice.
For the song?
Yeah, this is the news.
See, I don't listen to NPR, so I don't even know what that would be.
It would just be really boring.
I'll do it. This is Mike Krol's This is the News off his new record, Turkey, coming out August 28th? 8th? August 28th. Yes, August 28th. Please enjoy. This has been the r/Indieheads podcast, and we wish you a good day. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye.